Okay, Bill, say hello because it's on.
Nope. Test 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Well, all right. Okay, good evening, folks. First of all, I want to welcome you to 2014. It's only the second week plus a day of 2014. I think it's going pretty good. And we're going to have a great show tonight, and thank you for showing up to Timmins Voices. We're going to have, as our feature, we're going to have Ray Cool Man Cool. He's going to sing some songs. We're going to also, I think, have Rob Lilly, if he's here. And also, in addition, we're going to have Tundi a Tundra. We're going to have a little bit of raving and ranting, which I think we can all use. And Josh Matat is here. I think he's going to sing a few songs. We're going to have, as part of the open mic, myself and Charmaine and Karina. Karina Miki Douglas is going to premiere her singing, which I think is very courageous. And any one of you, if you want to express yourself, please come up to the open mic. We got our open mic book on the counter, and you're quite welcome to sign up and have your say. One of the things we really enjoy about Timmins Voices is that we give the people of Timmins an opportunity to express themselves. And no better time of the year to express yourself in January. I mean, we've gone through Christmas, we've gone through, we're getting into the heart of winter, and if you're feeling kind of pent up, this is the time to let it out. So, we're going to start with, I'm going to ask you a question. How's everyone doing tonight? We're doing fine? Okay. 2014 is a major year in terms of anniversary. Does anyone know what the major anniversary is of 2014? We got a couple of hands here. Let's go with Karina.
100th anniversary of the start of World War I.
Star?
Correct.
There you go. 100th anniversary of World War I, which is the war to end all war. Of course, we know it didn't end wars. It just continued them, and we're still having them today. So I'm going to start off with an anniversary poem. It's actually called 1914. If I remember to bring it. Here it is. Okay, 1914. 1914. 1914. Was there ever such a madness as was seen in 1914? It only got worse by 1916. Trench-filled lunacy, gas-spilled insanity. Civilization marched on with such superior boots, with such superior men. Evolution evolved to its highest peaks of despair. With gadgets and widgets, rule Britannia, rule Germania. Did you ever see such fools as the decorated generals driving home in jeeps in 1918 with blood on the soil, blood on their boots? 4 years of useless death and toil that the world had ever seen. Blow me a kiss and give me a salute. 1918, 1918, peace at last that wouldn't last. Poppies in the cemeteries waving, but they never ended the war to end all wars. 1939, 1939, and the mental illness of man was once more at hand. Rule Britannia, rule Germania. Savage civilization, sudden realization that the noblest aim of civilized man is to kill better and faster. 1945, are we still alive? How could we survive with atomic sounds, vaporized shadows on the ground? Hell has no bounds. United Nations and Cold Wars. 1951, Korea. Suddenly, 1965, arrive. Vietnam be damned, napalms and B-52s, killing so fine. Rule America, America rule the world. 1973, hippie and yippee, peace is at hand if you want it. Only to discover the killing fields, a crop of skulls in Cambodia, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. 1985, and we barely survived Sarajevo, Montenegro, Bosnia, Kosovo, Rwanda. And then 2001, a space oddity indeed. 9/11, buildings fall, death toll mounts. 13 years of war, Iraq and Afghanistan, once more. Rule America, America rule the world. 2014, 2014, 100 years, 100 years. How many more tears? So that's my rant. Is that a good rant there, Andy? You're the rant expert. Okay, we're going to my next poem. I wrote a couple of poems over the holidays, and this is called The Tiny Ping. So we're going to go from the ranting and raving of 1914 to the tiny ping of Czech crystal. And this poem really isn't about Czech crystals. It's about the range of poetry, from the very, very quiet to the very, very loud. And it's I guess a debate that we're having within sort of poetic circles with my friends as to what is poetry. And I say, it's anything you want it to be, as long as it's done well and as long as it moves people. Okay, the tiny ping. The tiny ping from the clinking of a Czech crystal, the mighty explosion of a supernova, the lulling ocean sound, the buzzing saw of a cicada, the marching thud of jackboots, crushing supine faces on pavement stone, the lilting call of the blood-red cardinal perched on treetops, the groaning moans of intertwined lovers, the surreptitious sighs of ecstasy sweating, the voluptuous voices of veils billowing, the eardrum shattering of sound barriers, jets at Mach speed, the piercing scream of a dying dream, the clarion caw, caw of overhead crows, the intonations of eagles flying in circles in the sky, the silent scurrying of mice feet in the dark at midnight, whale song wailing strong in oceans deep, the invasive din of shadowy creeps, the chattering of apes, the smashing of grapes, sirens on fire, last breath expires, the breeze through the trees, master musicians, sonorous symphony, crashing of timpani, the howling wind, the howling wind, the howling wind. Okay. Now, this is supposed to be funny, and it actually is based on reality. It was a couple of years ago when I went up to Saskatchewan with a very obnoxious woman, and we were working on a project to do with energy conservation, and unfortunately we had to, because there's no hotels in Saskatchewan, we had to stay in the same rented house overnight. And believe me, it reminded me of all the hell of being married without being married. It's called Two White People Pissed in Saskatchewan. She told me that I left the toilet seat up last night and that she almost fell in the dark. At DJ's in Saskatchewan, with the wild winds howling, at temperatures dipping to minus 40 degrees, as if I had violated one of her 7 deadly sins. What she viewed as a transgression, I viewed as an act of kindness. I didn't want to piss all over the toilet seat, so I left it up. I didn't want her to get her wrinkled, fat ass wet. I wanted her to keep it dry, so she wouldn't be left with my stains on her aging buttocks. You wouldn't piss on the seat, she said, if you sat down to take a leak. I looked at her as if she was some lost Betty Friedan, trying to tame a savage man in a cold, remote land. Where I come from, I said, men piss standing up. And if you're foolish enough to piss in the dark without checking to see if the toilet seat is up or down, then you deserve to fall in.
You can't hear you in the back.
What do you mean they can't hear me in the back?
Way back there.
Where? Behind the glass?
Yeah, behind the glass.
Oh, well, I guess I'll have to move up. Okay. Maybe we can turn it up. But if they really want to... Can you turn it up a little bit there, Bill? How's that? Louder?
Too loud.
Too loud. All right. Okay. I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to move on to our next feature. Our next open mic guest. This is called Beauty and the Boots. And it's a reminder that this time of the year, we're a month away from Valentine, and I read somewhere that this is the time, the biggest time for breakups. Because people want to, obviously, if they're not getting along, they want to make sure they get someone in time for Valentine's that they can actually have a nice experience with. So guys, be careful, because you may have a beauty, but she might give you the boots. So this is called Beauty in the Boots. This is the story about Beauty in the Boots. To all you beasts in blue jeans or business suits, whose charm sweeps beauty away, remember this message forever and a day. When she gives you her heart, when she gives you her soul, and if you break it apart and behave like an asshole, this story you must be told. Beauty will give you the boot. She'll drop all you beasts down the garbage chute. She's all beauty and nice until you cross her once or twice. Man, you ought to have seen her. She'll take you to the cleaners. She'll make off with your loot. She may be a beauty, but this you can't dispute. There's nobody meaner than a crossed beauty when she gives you the boots. All right. Remember that. All right.